So, Ian, that was Malusi Gigaba speaking about inclusive growth, saying that it is possible for South Africa to grow inclusively, and it is possible for government to drive this radical economic transformation plan. But he also said, and we didn't see that in that clip, that obviously he recognizes that business needs to come on board.
Yes.
But in your notes, you have said that business might feel a little bit uncomfortable to come on board under this environment. Please just explain to us further.
I think that the last week or two has increased, shall I say, the risk of doing business in South Africa quite materially. Unfortunately, much of that is, shall I say, political risk. And I think the fact that we've had a downgrade on our foreign debt to junk status has certainly affected people's views on their appetite to actually invest into new opportunities.
Even though that foreign debt only constitutes 10% of the entire debt profile of South Africa.
Quite right. The issue, however, is S&P rating for our local currency debt is one notch above junk as well. So assuming things carry on this trajectory over the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months, there's a real possibility that that could also go down into junk debt status, with the result that most of your government bond index funds offshore will have to sell out of South African government bonds. And the impact on that in the South African market will be quite material, given that foreigners own close to 35% of the rand-denominated paper. So broadly speaking, I think South African business people have been sitting on their hands for quite a while. I think investment last year and the year before was relatively low. I think last year the capital investment by South African business was approximately about 6% lower than the year before. And it's mainly because people are not quite sure of what's going to happen. And even as we sit today, one sees much speculation about where things are going. And as a result, I think people would like to first see where it all, or how it all plays out before they actually come to make a decision.
Ian, the mistrust between business and government is now not apparent. It's rather obvious in the South African economy. How then do we spur domestic private investment in this very difficult environment?
I think clarity and certainty is the key to success over here. Ultimately, once people understand how this is going to play out, then they can assess what they want to do and what the return is that they have to earn, given the relative risk that they perceive to be in the market. It's really certainty is what it's all about. Right now, nobody really knows where we're going to go in the next 3 to 6 months. I mean, there's the conference, ANC conference, end of the year, which may or may not be the catalyst. It might happen sooner, it might happen later, it might not happen ever. And it's for that reason I think business will stay on the sidelines until they have some clarity.
But Ian, does business agree that we do need to grow inclusively, because we are in an economy where poverty is too high, inequality is too high, and unemployment is too high? Does business agree that something needs to be done, and that needs to be done along with the public sector? I mean, government can't do it alone.
Absolutely right. At the end of the day, I think business recognizes that part and parcel of a successful economy is that the social structure and the relative income earning potential of the community at large is brought into, shall we say, a more sustainable area. Right now, we all know South Africa has an unacceptably hygienic status, and for that reason, I think you can't really have a stable economy if certain members of the community are actually not sharing in the benefits of that economy. It's part and parcel of the social compact. If you don't, or social contract, if you don't have a sustainable social contract, the long-term prognosis must be for the economy to stall or ultimately for there to be a negative outcome.
And Ian, we have to finish now, but just your quick response. You speak about certainty, but some people would say that it looks pretty certain that this current administration that Zuma has appointed is not going anywhere. So in terms of your finance minister, it is Malusi Gigaba, and it is going to be Sifiso Buthelezi as his deputy. So in that environment of certainty, what's business's response? Are they uncomfortable with Gigaba, or will they maybe just give him the benefit of the doubt and just try to get to know the man better?
I have no doubt that they will try and get to know him better, and they will ultimately try and support the initiatives the government have introduced. I think the real issue is where does that, or how does that ultimately affect our debt ratings, because if that were to become a rand-based issue as well, then I think we've got a problem.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We're going to have to leave it there. That was Ian Matthews, who is the head of business development at Bravura.